All right, morning, guys. So, for the space unit, things are going to look a little bit different than they have, but they're going to be very similar in terms of how they're repeated. So, you've got two things that will open up with the first assignment in week 9. Your job is to read the entire PDF. Sometimes when you open this, you actually have to hit enter again on the URL to get it to load. So, just make sure that you notice that. And then there are going to be short passages that are taken from this PDF that you're going to use to answer questions that you submit to me. What I want you to do first is highlight in the text where you found the answer, and then you're going to restate the question in your answer, and you're going to make sure you write in full sentences. So let's have a look. The first one, and I'm just going to get it to reload. Sometimes it takes a second or two. Okay, so the first one is the night sky. You're going to be having a look at things about stars, the sun, planets, different types of planets, as well as moons and galaxies. Okay, and then how things move sort of in the night sky. So over in the assignment, this is actually taken, if you look, these are the same instructions I just went through. But if you look, this part here is actually taken right from here. So I've just grabbed that text and put it here. So what you've got is a short little reading with a question. So why do stars look like tiny pinpoints of light at night? So in the paragraph above, you would have read through and you would have noticed that since stars are so far away from the Earth, they look like tiny pinpoints of light. So down below, stars look like tiny pinpoints of light at night because, so you've restated your question, why? They are so far away from the Earth, and I've taken that from here. So when you get onto the second part, planets, you'll see that comes from here. You've got this part, and you've got two questions that go with it. So what 3 properties must a celestial object possess in order for it to be classified as a planet? So we need to restate in order for a celestial object to be classified as a planet. And then we're going to look for what has to happen. And if you look here, to be classified as a planet, a celestial object must do what? It must orbit a star like the sun. It must contain enough mass so that the gravity pulls it into a round or spherical shape. And it must be able to clear other celestial objects that are out of its orbit. So you've got all 3 points that you can put right down there. I'm going to delete this. How many planets orbit the sun? What are their names? You're going to go right back up here. Have a look in, it's just the end of the last paragraph. And you're going to fill that in here. And then why is the Earth unique from other planets? You're going to restate that. The Earth is unique from other planets because, and then you're going to come back up here. Why is it? I see the word unique, so that's going to catch my attention. All the planets in the solar system, it's the only planet known to contain the liquid water and living things. So there you go. You've got your information right there. So that's how the assignment goes. The only one to really pay attention to is this one. So you kind of have to interpret this image a tiny bit. So if you look, using the image above, number the following in order of the relative size from the largest to the smallest. So here are all the things that you're going to put in order from the largest to the smallest. I've started you off. The universe is the largest. And then if you look at the way that the light sort of is shining down, it's almost like the universe is looking down onto a smaller part. So the universe would be the biggest. The Milky Way galaxy would be next. Inside the Milky Way, you've got the solar system. Inside the solar system, you've got the Earth. Inside the Earth, you've got Canada, right? So you're going to try to put these in order based on looking at this image and working your way down. So which of these ones comes after? The universe, you would look, well, it doesn't list Milky Way, but it does list the solar system. So number 2 would be the solar system. Okay, so that should help you. Polaris unmoving, you should be able to find the answers right there. Your rubric, I was having trouble with Google Classroom and getting the rubric to load correctly, but I think I found a workaround for it. They'll just be in the opposite order where they go 3, 2, 1, 0. So this is how you're going to be graded. And I will I'll fix that up today. So that should be added in by the time you guys do your assignment. So if it's worth 2 marks, what's expected? You don't get a mark if it's incorrect, obviously. What else am I expecting? That you've highlighted in the text where you found the evidence, that you've restated the question in your answer, and that you've done full sentences. So if you've got the correct answer, but you haven't done all of these pieces, you're only going to get 1 mark. And 2 marks, you've done all of these things and you've got the correct answer. If it's a 3-mark question, same thing. So if you have an incorrect answer, it's just going to be 0. If you've done some of these things, say your answer is partially incorrect, but you've done some of these, you'll get 1 mark on a 3-mark question. If your answer is partially correct but not fully correct, you'll get 2. And if it's correct and you've done all these things, you're going to get 3 marks. So that'll be built in digitally shortly, now that I know the workaround in Classroom.